Hey guys, welcome or welcome back. This video is going to be a real hodgepodge of things. Several things that I ordered, some a long time ago, some really recently, have shown up, and they've all shown up on the same day. As a matter of fact, I don't know what kind of Jenga they did to get all this to fit in my mailbox, but they did. I guess because they didn't want to come out and come to the front door. But anyway. So I decided to, instead of making like separate videos for separate audiences, like maybe you like the stationery aspect of the channel, maybe you like the fountain pen, I'm just going to make one. And then of course, like always, there will be timestamps in the bottom, in the description. And let's get into it. If you are here for the fountain pens, these are buy one, get one sale going on right now with Fountain Pen Revolution. If you are here for those, that is going to be at the end of the video, because I'm going in order of things that take up less space and activity on my desk so I can get them done and cleared out so I can have room for this. So again, timestamps in the description of the video. So let's get started. The first thing, you may remember that I showed this, the last Towel Thing stationery haul I got. I got a sample of this one right here. These little labels. So the thing that I got today was a whole roll of them, and I got this from Emma Stationery Haul. I liked this so much I wanted to make sure I had a whole roll. And that's called, this one right here, I think the brand is YDK, and this particular one is called Fragments of Time. And apologies if you can hear the dog barking. I think he wants attention, and instead I'm doing this. So I'll try to go a little bit quick for him. Okay, the next two things, where did it go? Okay, so some of you are likes may overlap in that you may like K-pop, you may like Stray Kids like me. And there is a Etsy shop that I've shopped at once before, and again this time, called StayEverlasting. And my friend actually got gifted some Crocs. So I got her these tiny little Chandora Croc charms. They're like super cute. So the shop owner is really awesome. She also remembered that I liked Bang Chan, so I got another little card, so that's awesome. And some stickers. So anyway, that's just a random, probably not you guys thing. And then also she had some colored grid washi for sale, so I picked this up because I've only had that taupe black and white ones. So excited about this. I've already put some on my storage cards and in my lookbook for it. Okay, next thing is this. So you may remember I bought this cover, this A6 cover, when the April stuff released for Hobonichi. Super excited, love the cover, needed to have a book in it. I happen to have this A6 lying around, but I don't know the brand of paper in this at all. It feels smooth, like it would handle fountain pen writing decently well. And I also did a little writing test in the beginning of it, and it seems like it handles it fairly well. But I went to this company, this Etsy shop called Paper and Sprinkles, and I picked this up because it's Tomoe River paper. I also like the fact that it lays really flat and has big grids. And so that is from Paper and Sprinkles. And it comes with this really hilarious sticker. This is psychologist approved. So I think all stationery should be psychologist approved. It has a really cool, like super soft faux leather cover. It feels like really smooth and nice. So that's going to go in here. And I think what I'm going to use it for is the winners of my Ink Madness are going to get a whole page. And it'll just be like a cool catalog. Maybe like a secondary ink journal. And that way I can have my existing ink journal, which is Cosmo Air light paper. And then I can have this journal, which is Tomoe River. So I think that'll be cool. Okay. Oh man, it feels like this is a speed round. So I got that done. Let's move that over here. Okay, what is next? Next we have the pens. Okay, so I have never done this before, but I know that some people, they dip the pen into the ink to test it out versus filling the pen entirely. So I think I'm going to try that this time. I'm going to use this Sailor ink because it's the chroma shader, and a lot of these are flex nibs. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to see that. And this is, I call it Kengyu, but maybe it's pronounced a little differently. I'm not sure. For starters, this one I will not be inking or dipping. This one is one that I picked up for my friend since it was a BOGO sale and I had a slot right here. And so she picked this one. This is the Ashoka model in green blue. So let me blare out some light here so you can see it's really cool swirl and stuff. And I'll open it, but I'm not going to ink up her pen. So it's really pretty. Okay. This is my first ever order with Fountain Pen Revolution. I've heard of them, but I've never owned a Fountain Pen Revolution pen before. The shipping was really interesting because it was super fast. Like, I got these way sooner than I expected, but they arrived in a bubble mailer wrapped, and I kind of expected, I mean, they're completely fine. There's no damage or anything to them. I just thought it was kind of funny. Okay, so let's try this out. I really appreciate the fact that these pens don't cost an arm and a leg, because I wanted to try out different type of nibs. I need a pair of scissors. I wanted to try out different kinds of nibs, and that can always be really hit or miss. And so I was really excited to find these pens. They look like pretty good quality. Again, they were BOGO. If this video comes out Monday night, like I hope it does, then you should still have some time if you're interested as well. Okay, so I have some water in my Meow glass, and I've got some paper towels around here somewhere. Over here. Let's see if I can figure out how to dip these and write. Again, I've never done that, so let's try that. So let's move this over a little bit. Let's zoom in so you guys can see the writing. Again, I always have to write on an angle, so I'll write like this. And let's get this clamped so it stays put. Very nice. That's one thing that I look back on that first Ink Madness video that I did, and I realized that as I was doing the samples on the page, the individual ones, they were too far away. Like you couldn't see what I was doing. So I need to figure out a way to zoom in or show them like immediately as I do them, something like that. So anyway, this is my attempt in making it close enough for you to see, but not so close that you're like, that is really blurry. All right, so let's get started. Oh, fingers crossed I can do this. Also, I am so out of breath from trying to talk fast and do this to make it a short video. Good grief. Slow down. Okay. All right, so let's try, whoops, bubble. Okay, let's try this one. This one first. This is the Rialto Blue Tortoise, and it has an architect nib on it. So let me kind of get it a little bit closer so you can see. That blue almost looks like it's painted on the inside after the tortoiseshell stuff is done. So I don't know if you can see that. It's not on the outside, but it is a flat blue. So to me, it looks a little odd. It's still very pretty, but I feel like it would be prettier if it was somehow deeper into the color. All right, again, this is an architect nib. So you can see, hopefully, if it's not too blurry, I'm trying. You can see the slice of the nib, the way it shoots up like that. Okay, and the nib says FPR for Fountain Pen Revolution. Okay, let's try this. Again, I've never, I don't even know how you would clean it after you do this. Do you just wash off the tip of the pen? Does it do any capillary action where it's pulling it up there and you have to clean better? Oh, I don't know. Okay, so this is the, ooh, I love it. It is like really smooth feeling. There's no drag at all. Oh, this is so nice. So let's do some down strokes real thin. I remembered 4 this time. All right. Dude, this writes way smoother than I thought it would. That's so nice. Okay, I will show you a close-up of the writing when I'm done with the page. So I guess we just dip it in the water. I'll have to check this later. It's just so strange to me. Let's see. Nope, there's none coming out. Maybe I should have used a darker ink so I could make sure that none was coming out. Let's just sit it there for a minute and see if the capillary action pulls anything out. No, it's not. Huh. Well, that's interesting because I've always inked pens up. This has one, well, let's try that again. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4 to lock it. Okay. This next one is Jaipur. Jaipur V2 in white cracked ice. And this one has a steel ultra flex nib. So this reminds me of the way that Estie looks. And I told myself I'd never get another white pen because anytime I fill them up, I end up staining. But, you know, the price is right. And it was really cool looking. So we tried. This one, unlike the other one, which is a cartridge, this one is a piston filler. You can see the ink window right here. And the pistons from here. Here is a close-up of the nib. You can see that flex nib right there happening. Okay. So again, this is a steel ultra fine. Let's try that again one more time. 3rd time's the charm. It's a steel nib. It's an ultra fine flex nib. All right, so let's dip that in there without getting it on the pen itself. Ooh, that looks like too much because it's hanging out on the curves. Okay. I forgot it's flex, so I have to actually, railroad. This might not be the best one to try with a dip because you need the ink to flood out when you do it. And it's only dipped. It doesn't have ink in the well. So that's nice. It's not too it's not too needle pointy. I was kind of worried when it said extra fine. I was like, ooh, I don't know about that. I'm also still kind of learning on how to write with a flex nib. I don't know if you can tell by this writing or not, but I tend to write really kind of fast and furiously because I think it's a byproduct of the work I do where I'm always having to very quickly take notes. And so I have to like try to make a conscious effort to slow down and write differently. And so I think the flex nibs lend themselves to slowing you down, but I don't always remember. Okay, so this was the steel. I don't think I have to write steel. They're all steel. None of these are gold nibs. So this is the extra fine ultra flex. Oops. Well, that was a mess, but we got through it. Of course, now every time I hear the word ultra, I think of Stray Kids song. I don't know why I went up instead of down. Whatever. All right, now's the moment for it to shine. It's not railroading, which is, I think, something if you consider the fact that it's just dipped. It doesn't have ink in the reservoir. Sorry, I'm having to go a little bit weird because of the plastic of this flower. Oh, that looks nice. It's also really showing off the characteristics of this ink. This is, oh, this time I saw the ink come out. This ink right here is one of the ones that I put in when I was trying to classify my inks. I put it in the silver category, which is just a super white or super light gray. Sorry, I'm checking. Nice. This is amazing. Okay. Which is just super light grays. Of course, now putting it down, it definitely has purple-ish tendencies, but I think that's due in large part to the fact that it's a chroma shader. Okay, so last one, the one that I was most excited to get is this guy. It's so freaking cool looking. Oh, look at that. If you're watching that one guy on Instagram who does the wood turning, he would say, look at that chatoyancy. But it just looks like burl wood. But this is Himalaya V2 Chrome, and it's in Taj Mahal white, and it has a steel flex nib. So not an ultra fine, ultra flex, just a regular flex nib from them. And this is a cartridge filler. Okay, let's dip this guy. See what it looks like. Let me make sure I'm, okay, that's good enough. This is kind of good because I don't have a lot to say today, and it's just gonna take up my journaling page, which is perfect. It's so weird dipping these pens. I'm fixated on it. I can't get over it. Okay, so this one is the Himalaya. Yeah, you can see it doesn't flex as much as the one above it, but it still has a really nice flex and bounce. And it also is very smooth. Very smooth. All of these are very smooth. Sometimes with the steel nibs, it's kind of hit or miss. I think them being flex nibs helps it out a little bit. And this is, oh, and white. I don't have room to write right there, so. This makes me want to keep this one inked and put it in. I might put it in the rotation for March. That's not a bad idea. I could do that. And this is just a flex nib, like a regular flex. I'm not going to write steel. I'll do 4 down. Go the opposite direction this time. It does take a bit more to flex this one, obviously. But it's still not railroading. It's so interesting dipping the tip of the pen in because, like, I wouldn't have thought that it held that much ink. And I purposely picked a very light color ink just in case. Well, guys, you learn something new every day. And today you learned it with me if you didn't know it. These are nice. I really like their mission too. Like if you read everything that they have, it's all about how making fountain pens more accessible and not so expensive, and making good quality. I really appreciate that. I kind of wish I would have found them when I first started playing around with fountain pens. Maybe I would have stayed with steel nibs and wouldn't be spending so much on pens. Whatever. Okay. You know what though? Let me look at my inks for this month. Does that have a place? No, that is too purpley to go along with these guys, isn't it? Yeah, it doesn't match the vibe. Well, shoot. That's okay. This definitely matches the color palette of next month when you look at the Coffee Monster Co. All right, let me pull these up really close for a look. And then I'm going to do the sneak peek of how I think I'm going to film the next video for the ink madness. So hopefully this isn't blurry. Yeah, it looks okay. Okay, so this one was this pen right here, the Rialto blue Tortoise with the Architect. You can see that really nice shading happening there. I love me a good Architect dip. This one was the Cracked Ice here, and I'm going to try to pull the light a little bit closer and tilt this one so that you can, oh, blurry. So hopefully you can see that coloring in the ink because it's so pretty. Okay, and then this was the Himalaya 2, the one that chatoyancy. So good. Nice. All right. Cool. Well, thanks for going along with me on that journey. Let's take a look at how I plan to do the other thing. Also, since I haven't started recording yet, that's tomorrow. Go ahead and, if you see this tonight, help me vote. Let me know what you think, if you like this idea or not. So if you watched my last video, essentially what I did is I had things kind of pre-structured in the sense that the page was laid out. I had the boxes. I had which inks were going to go head to head with the other inks, right? And then I decided as I went who the winner was. And then, by the way, as a reminder, I asked all of you guys to go into the posts section of the YouTube page, like the community area, and you can vote to see if you would have picked this color as the winner or one of these other ones, which is actually kind of cool. Some of you guys are voting. It's really interesting to see. So anyway, I felt like this took a long time because I had to color each one of these, and it may not have seemed like a long time for you all, but it did take like 5 or 6 hours because you would color it, I would color it. I would have to wait for it to dry, record again, color it, wait for it to dry, record again, and so on. So I think what I'm going to do is try to record throughout the week instead of on one day. And also, to anybody who's OCD, let me tell you what, I am so sorry I missed these little sections. I didn't notice till afterwards, and I really don't want to bring the bottle out, but ooh, it drives me nuts, so let's just skip. Okay, whew, we're off that page. So sorry. Anyway, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the video by giving you my matchups on my coloring cards, how I'm going to do them. And then throughout the week, I'll record like this page and maybe another page. And then the next day record this page and maybe another page. And then put it all together over the weekend. I think that's going to work better for me and time-wise and my back and everything else, because that was a little bit brutal. I had a lot of fun, but it totally ate up my Sunday. So I think what I'll do is I'll start it with, this also gives you a quick close-up of them. So for instance, I think I'm going to go have the Ventabadya go head-to-head with the Dominant Industries Glacier. So like that one fights that one, duels, battles, whatever you want to use. And then like the Waringall's Dewy Starlight, Van Diemen's Parrotfish, because they both have shimmer. This you can barely see, but it has a pinkish purple shimmer. And then just do the 2x2s that way, and then show you the book as done, right? So the video would basically be like me going, okay, here are the blue matchups, boom, 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 boom. Maybe not crazy like that, but you know what I'm saying. So like blue matchups, do that, and then do a cut, and then walk you through everything dried and done. I think that's what I'm going to do this time. And let me tell you what, the matchups are getting progressively harder. I did not expect that, but there are some inks that I have that just have no equal, like this guy. There is no equal to this one in my stash. So who's he going to go up against? Like, I know he's going to be a keeper because this was a gift from my friend, and it was also the stationery festival. But so I put it up against this one because they're both teals, but they're just so vastly different. And that's going to happen a lot in the blues, I feel like. Maybe the other colors too, but I've definitely noticed it when I was trying to figure out matchups for blues. Okay, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. If you've watched this long, or even if you just skipped to the end, that's completely fine. If you wouldn't mind, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up so it helps with the algorithm and gets this video out in front of more people. And if you really liked it and my craziness, then please subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks. Have a good night.